What's good? What's good? What's really, really good, good people? This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. That's right. You're watching Sunday Morning Live. Super shout out to everybody that is watching, everybody that is tuned in on this beautiful, beautiful Sunday. And if you cannot, for some strange reason, if you cannot find Charm City Direct TV, it's real simple, good people. You could go to Facebook at facebook.com/ Charm City Direct TV. You can also head on over to YouTube, which we are live right now at Charm City Direct TV. Also, you could go to Twitch at Charm City Direct TV, and by the good people at Twitch and the good people at MMBP Radio. You can watch us live on MMBP Radio by going to their website at www.mmbpradio.com. What can I say, good people? It's going to be a great show today because we're going to be talking about the topic stepping out on faith. Stepping out on faith. We're going to talk about that. What was it like? You had an idea in mind. You wanted to get out there. You wanted to show the world your true potential, but you was afraid. You was afraid that if you stepped out on faith, that you'll make a mistake or your endeavor might not be successful. So what was that feeling like? What did you do to overcome that fear of stepping out on faith? And joining me today live on the show is author, entrepreneur, and life coach, Miss Thais Woodson. She's coming on to talk about her journey in being an author, a life coach, and an entrepreneur. And she is also here to talk about her new book, which is a book of poetry that we are going to talk about as well. I Am Woman, a collection of poems. That's right. And she's going to read some excerpts from the book. So you might want to stay tuned for that. Some great reading. I had the pleasure of getting the book firsthand. I have read some of it so far, and I need to say, people, treat yourself. Sometimes you just gotta treat yourself and get this book. It is very, very amazing. So make sure you support and get this book. It is a collection of poems written by Miss Thais Woodson. Hey, I could go on, but we all know that Sunday Morning Live starts right now. That's right, good people. Sunday Morning Live right here in the studios of Charm City Direct TV. Like I said before the introduction, if you having trouble trying to find Charm City Direct TV, it's real simple, good people. You could go to Facebook, which we are live at facebook.com/ Charm City Direct TV. You can head on over to YouTube, which we're live at Charm City Direct TV. And also, you can watch us live right now on Twitch at Charm City Direct TV and MMBP Radio. Super shout out to my good brother, my mentor. He is the president and CEO of MMBP Radio in Colorado. You can watch us live right now at www.mmbpradio.com. Make sure you go there, support, watch the show live, and all of that good stuff. Like I said, good people, we will be talking about the topic, stepping out on faith. What was it like? You had an idea in mind and you told people about it. You was real passionate about this idea. And this idea could have been anything. You wanted to write a book. You wanted to do live stream. You wanted to do a radio station. You wanted to be an entrepreneur. You just couldn't work for people any longer. You couldn't take it. And you wanted it so bad. You wanted it so bad that you wanted to step out, but you was nervous. Kind of took baby steps, and you just couldn't take that full step. What was it like? I know for me, when I started in this journey of live stream, I'm still impassionate, but I was overly passionate because I just knew that abundance of people were going to tune in automatically. And a lot of people was in my ear about what to do, how to do it, how to bring it to life. But of course, you got to be your own person. You got to do your own research. And I was a little hesitant because I wanted it to be a success, but I was nervous all at the same time. And then a certain passage, a scripture, which I did not put up, but it comes from Matthew 17, verse 20. And it talks about having faith as small as a mustard seed. If you have faith as small as a mustard seed, your chances are overwhelming. And every time when I talk about having faith or stepping out on faith, that passage comes to mind. So as I begin my journey, I'm doing my research, and that voice still in my head, like, you know, E, you got to do it. You got to do it. You have to create a platform for people. You have to do it. And I think that was the reason. That was the reason why I decided to step out on faith, is because of the outcome. What would the outcome be if I did it? So I did it. And here I am now. Of course, I started out, of course, I tell people this all the time. I started out in radio, online radio, and then I graduated into live stream because I wanted to own something. And that's how a lot of business owners, a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of people who want to own something feel, is stepping out on faith, taking that first step into reality. What was it like for you? What was that moment like when you wanted to do something so bad, and you was asking people and doing your research, but the only thing you had to do was step? What was that feeling like? I talk to a lot of people on a daily basis, business owners, entrepreneurs, people who creating businesses, people who creating jobs. I talk to motivational speakers. I talk to artists, rappers, singers. I talk to a lot of people, and the one thing I ask them is, what motivated you to do what you do? And surprisingly, a lot of people, of course, they say relatives, or they say people that already have done it. You know, people that's in the industry, for instance, like music. Their grandfather, father, sister was in the business already, and that would influence them to do it. But a lot of people surprisingly say that, you know, I got into it because I wanted to take that step. I wanted to take that step forward. I wanted to take that next step into reality, that next step into the industry that I wanted to do. And as they told that story, as they told that story or talked to me about it, you know, I was amazed. I was amazed to hear, you know, certain people that say, I stepped out on faith, E. You know, I just had to pick up, you know, what I gathered and follow my own mind, and I just had to do it. So we're going to talk about stepping out on faith, and I'm going to bring my special guest in. Her name is Miss Thais Woodson. And like I said, Miss Woodson uh, wrote a book of poetry, which I have right here. I Am Woman, a collection of poems. So I'm going to stop talking. You know how I get. I can ramble all day. And I'm going to bring her in. Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce to you author, entrepreneur, and life coach, Miss Thais Woodson. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm great. I am blessed. I am great. First and foremost, I want to say thank you. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Great. Now, the topic today we're going to talk about is stepping out on faith. And what was it like to step out on faith and pretty much uh talk like what was it like? Like you taking those necessary steps or that next step forward to pursue what you love to do. And you do it all. You
Mhm.
um life coach, entrepreneur, and author. Like I said, the new book right here, which I have, I Am Woman, a collection of poems. Um I have read it. I have read some, and what I've read so far, Thais, it is incredible. I need to say that, and people out
Thank you
there
so much.
support. That's all I needed to say. Support, support. So that's the question today, Thais. Stepping out on faith. What did that mean to you? That phrase, stepping out on faith. What did that mean to you?
It means digging, digging deep within you and realizing that you were given gifts and you were given talents. We all are. If you don't really realize what they are, well, there you go. That's something else to pray on.
Right,
Okay. Because we all have something in us. And a lot of us, we have really several talents.
right,
But what we sometimes don't do is we don't kind of see the big picture. We
right.
don't we don't really like reach out and say, you know what, I am good at this. I may not be so good at that, but I can learn this.
Mm,
And you really just kind of, first off, it's always going to be something to be really kind of afraid of, bounded by. Like, I don't know if I should do this. I don't know if I should do that.
right,
And one thing, I'm always going to rely on is the power of prayer.
right,
So, and anything that I have started to pursue and anything I may even pursue in the future, I pray on it first.
okay,
But you also have to realize, even if you sit down literally with a piece of paper, nobody knows but you, and say, here's my column of this is what I do well, this is what I would like to do better. Even if you, two column it, how you go in a job interview and they're like, what is your strengths and what is your weaknesses?
right,
you
right,
know, but you put it on paper. As you start to see that, you'll see things. There'll be things that inspire you, you know, and then you got to say, you know what, I think I can do that.
mm,
I don't even know how, but you stair step it, you little by little, and you stair step it.
right, right,
And one thing that I've learned, and actually learned this in school. um, Actually, with the past couple of years, just, how they say things that you know now that you wish you knew a
right,
long time ago.
Right.
You
Right.
know, is really how to plan steps for yourself and a strategy and how to set goals.
Right.
Okay, and so once you really start to get an idea in your head, you know, you start to put those things on paper, and
Right.
then you start to put them on paper in a certain order, and then you start to prioritize what
Right.
should I do first versus what I should do somewhere in the middle, you know, and you start to get all of that in your head, and you know, you'll see something like, for instance, with me, my when I'm in my vehicle, I don't I have not listened to the radio really in a very long time because I listen to motivational speakers
Mm.
and I watch and listen to not just what's going to motivate me, but something to teach me,
Hmm.
you know, within my niche, within my category of what I'm trying to learn.
Right.
Okay, so in other words, you know how they say, you know, if you want to be successful, you do what successful people do.
Right.
You know, so it's like my vehicle is like my university. You know, that's I learn. You know, I learn, and then you know, even at home, I've I have not in many years been a person who watches too much television.
Mm.
You know, because if it's not something that's going to grow me as a person, if it's not going to bring me value, that's in my smaller category of what I should tend to, or
Right.
what, you know. I mean,
Right.
we all relax, you know, at certain times, you know. I listen to music, I watch TV some, you know, but I minimized years ago those things that were just not productive.
Right.
You know, so I think that the you know, one of the main things is just when you talk about or think about stepping out on faith, is to first realize what it is of value that you have to give, because it's not about you, it's
Hmm.
never about you, you know, it's always about what value you give to others, what you bring, you know, like
Right.
it's like a relationship. What do you bring to the table?
Right.
You know, and now we have, you know, social media, you know, we're all being watched.
Right. Right.
And so the one thing I think about, and when it comes to writing poetry, when it comes to you know, being a life coach and talking to clients, is always is what am I pouring into people?
Right.
You know, you have to first, in order to step out in faith in the first place, you have to pour into yourself.
Yes.
You always pour into you, you always invest in you, you
Right.
know, and that is the whole point of me, you know, listening to motivational speakers, you know, when I'm in a car, you know, something like that. All of that comes from, you know, I read, you know, you know, all, you know, you have to reach out and pull those things to you that are going to, you know, just help you be a more productive you,
Right.
and
Right.
tap into those gifts and talents. And then,
Right.
you know, once you do that, then it's like, you know what? Okay, now I know I'm good at this. I can do this. Now I bottle that, and now put it out there.
Right.
And when you put it out there, that is when you have to, you know, dig deep for that faith. That's when
Right.
you have to step out and just say, you know what? And it's part of this, you know, it's about self-esteem, it's about self-confidence. You know, like right now I'm in school for psychology.
Hmm.
I'm working on my master's in psychology. That takes up
Yes.
some time, of course. You know, so it's it really boils down to, well, once you start, you know, praying on and realizing, you know, I'm good at this,
Hmm.
then you just put it together, and then you pray on it.
Right.
And you pray on it. And anything that is a gift or a talent, anything that was given to you by God, it's not going to be tainted. Are we going to fail sometimes? Of course. Of
Right.
course.
Right.
Because as much as you fail is as much as you learn. You know what I
Right.
mean? But you do it.
Right. Right.
You do it. And partially you do it because do it, very simply, do what makes you happy.
Right. Right.
If you're at a particular job, you're not happy. Maybe you want to be promoted. Show them your value. Okay? And that could happen.
Right.
If not, maybe your value is bigger than that. And maybe you're not dreaming big enough.
Or maybe just want to add on to that. Maybe if they don't see your value, maybe your value can be seen elsewhere. Or maybe that place is not just for, maybe that place is not for you.
Exactly.
And that I was in that situation, and that's why it's kind of like a touchy subject with me, being at a job for 15 years and them not seeing your value. But I kept going because I needed the job, the money. But then I started to realize, and I prayed about it every night. I said, I don't know what can be done, but whatever you do, take me out of this situation. And, COVID, unfortunately, COVID came in, and at the time, I was upset. And the reason why I was upset is because for 15 years, that's all I knew, and just within a snap of a finger, it's gone. But then a sudden calm came over me to say, this is not the only job that's out here. Now, there was jobs was like kind of scarce at the time. But the calm was like, you're going to find something. I just can't send you back there.
Right.
I need to take you out of that. And this is awesome that we're talking about this, because this is a prime example of stepping out on faith, stepping into something new, stepping into a new beginning, a new chapter. I didn't know that 15 years is a long time, and I just have to trust that once he took me out of that situation, and I was sad, I was upset, I was frustrated because I didn't know what was going to happen next. And I was out of work for like 9 months, but I was good. I was good. I'm gonna just leave it at that. I was good.
Okay.
And he brought me into another establishment. Totally new. And the calm was still there. Like, this is what I have for you. And a lot of people, and what you just said, pray. A lot of people don't pray. A lot of people just dive right into it without praying. And that's where a lot of situations fail, because they forget to pray and leave it there.
Right.
You just can't pray and worry. And I think that was one of my problems. That was one of my problems. I prayed and worried. But when you pray, you're supposed to pray and leave it there. Let go, let God.
There you go.
Wow. Talk about your endeavors. Life coach, entrepreneur, author, designer, graphic designer. I see you. I see you. Talk about that for a minute. One, how do you balance that? And two, the joy that you get from it.
Okay, well, the I first started with literally just wanting to get some things off my chest.
Okay.
Put some things, and that prompted me to put some things on first, like in my mind, and then I'm thinking, and sometimes some frustrating things will happen to you, and you know, I really started saying, you know what, I'm gonna put this into words. I'm gonna put this on paper.
Mm,
And I never intended on anybody seeing anything I wrote down.
mm,
So I just had poems,
okay.
you know, in my computer, on my phone. I just had poems. And then I said, you know what? This feels good.
Right.
It feels good. And I started, I was like posting some things on social media, on Facebook and everything.
Right. Right.
Um, and you know, I more than likely. I mean, when I say 9.9 times out of 10, it's pretty much it's always something positive.
Right.
You know, I'm really all about like inner peace.
Right. Right.
Being inspiring to people is something that's very important to me.
Okay.
And so that's how I started with the poetry.
Okay.
Like I said, I just had poems on my computer. It was like my journaling.
Okay.
Okay. And but then I said, I've read something to my mother, and I read a poem. As a matter of fact, one of my first was "I Am One."
Mm,
Okay, the name of the book. So it's like one of my very first poems.
okay.
I read that to her, and she was like, and she used to write poetry too. She was
Mm,
like, that's really good, and read it to my daughters. They were like, okay, like this is
we see you.
good. Like, okay, look at you. And from there, actually, and I dedicated the book of poetry to her. One of my daughters said, "Why don't you become an author?"
Mm,
I was like, really? Like, never really thought about it.
right.
So it's funny how God will take people and being here, put things in your head, in your ear. They'll be in your ear. The right people saying the right things.
There you go.
Because he's implanting. He's planting those seeds in your mind.
Right.
It's really up to you to have faith, water it, and make it grow.
Right.
So, but since I really, in realizing people's, as I sent some poems to a few people, can you please read this and just let me know, what you think.
Right.
And it was like all positive feedback.
Right.
And then I had one person say, but you know what? When I read this, I could like hear you saying it, like
Mm,
like I
right.
think it should be spoken. Okay, so I was like, I get you. Okay, I get what you're saying. Well, lo and behold, after that, I was actually it wasn't my idea, but here we go. People kind of seeing something in you and realizing, before sometimes you even realize it's like, look, you have this down. You can do this.
Right.
And God put those people, in our lives.
Right.
So then I was asked to do an open mic. You
Right.
know, "Hey, what do you think about doing an open mic, you know, and this is at a restaurant?" And I was like, "Oh, wow, that was okay." Like, you know, now terrified to even be on, you know, on stage, so to speak, like in
Right.
front of people, and not only, and we're not talking about just going up and reading a poem, or we're not just talking about, you know, memorizing a couple poems and getting up and performing. That's part of it.
Hmm.
But now we're talking about, wait a minute, you are the MC.
You hosting everything.
You hosted everything. You and you know, so there's other parts that come to that now. So quite a
Right.
bit that comes to that, you
Right.
know, that comes with that. Within that time, though, also, I said I just felt like I should be doing more. You know, I felt like I should be doing more. Um, and now all of this, now mind you, was starting to really surface, come to fruition for me, and be fulfilling. You know, feeling good. But like I said, felt like I wanted to do more. So that's when, like, I really started. I had been doing quite a bit of reading, and I really started seeing that there were people who were so in this helping space, you know,
Right.
wanting to be, you know, wanting to help people and things like that, and being, you know, then this title was floating around and coming about where people were life coaches, and I was like, well, you know, you know, maybe I could do that. You know, maybe I could do. I like helping people. I like, and you know, one thing that that resonated with me is that I was very, 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 very close. There was an incident of domestic violence.
Mm.
So, you know, I was in a relationship with someone, and you know, put their hands on me. Long story short,
Okay. Okay.
well, I was just raised that that's just not supposed to happen, and not tolerate that.
Okay.
So that sat in my mind when I got this idea to be a life coach.
Okay.
And the reason being is that I've had male and female clients so far. Okay. But I really wanted to really be helpful in someone's life that went through the self-esteem issues, you know, the lack of self-confidence,
Hmm.
the even where they're almost, they get very comfortable in the most uncomfortable situations.
Hmm.
And it kind of even goes back to stepping out on faith with that, is that I just wanted to, I just felt like if I could just talk to, like, even when I went to court about this incident.
Hmm.
And you know how you go to, well, maybe you don't. You go to court and you're not the only trial in there. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
day long. So there were a few before mine. And I'm just seeing these women. And before I go any further, I understand that women are not the only people that, you know, are abused. There are
Right.
also women who are, you know, very much do not control themselves either. And
Hmm.
there are some men who are abused as well.
Yes. Yes.
But to see, it just happened to be women that were that were there in court that day before my case, and it just did something to me to see women who have been in this situation more than once,
Mm.
you know. And I said, oh my gosh, like what is it that we get so comfortable with that we're not willing to say, you know what, God, pull me out.
Right. Right.
You know,
Right.
And so that was another thing that sparked me wanting to be a life coach, because I really like talking to, like I said, I've had male and female clients,
Right.
but something that really touches me deep is being able to talk to women and help with the self-esteem, the self-confidence, the, you're enough,
Right.
and to help them understand their worthiness.
Right.
So that's what made me, do my research and really, decide to I want to do this. I want to do this.
That's what's up. We're going to take this break to pay some bills. When we come back, you are going to read some excerpts from your book.
Yes.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
Maybe I'll pick something that you haven't read
yet. Right. Today, good people, you have been blessed with the company of my special guest, author, entrepreneur, and life coach, Miss Thais Woodson, right here on Sunday Morning Live. What can I say? Amazing, incredible. But don't you go nowhere. We're going to pay some I can't even talk. We're going to pay some bills and coming right back. More with Sunday Morning Live. Don't go nowhere. Much more to come.
The Charm City Direct TV merch store is here and open for business. Our mission is to serve everyone with the highest level of quality and respect, and with the best customer service experience ever. You will find just about anything at the Charm City Direct TV merch store, from t-shirts, hoodies, to backpacks and buttons, with all sizes and colors available. So go to www.shop.spreadshirt.com/charm-city-direct-tv-merch- and shop till you drop.
There is something about homemade treats that people cannot resist. The texture, the appearance, but most of all, the taste. If these things just activated your taste buds to have some delectable, tantalizing, and delicious treats, try Ellen's Sweet Treats for all of your dessert needs. Ellen's Sweet Treats specializes in a wide range of cakes, chocolate-covered strawberries, cookies, and pretzels, and more. And they are available for weddings, baby showers, gender reveal parties, birthday parties, and so much more. For more information about ordering and general questions, contact Linnea Neal on Facebook or call 443-589-4949. So place your order today to carve out your sweet tooth fix today.
You have a lot on your mind when you're moving, and life can get a little blurry. Let Focus Movers take the stress and worry of relocating off your back and onto their shoulders. Focus Movers is your complete moving solution for moving quickly. They pack, they carry, they move, and they deliver safely and securely. Professional with fair and honest rates, Focus Movers will help you move so you can focus on the things that really matter. Call 443-506-7905. That's 443-506-7905. Focus Movers. Safe, secure, fast.
And welcome back to the show. This is Sunday Morning Live in the studios of Charm City Direct TV. What can I say, good people? This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. And we are certainly glad because joining us today is author, life coach, and entrepreneur, Miss Thais Woodson. Like I said, good people, her book, I Am Woman, is out now. You can purchase this book right now on Etsy. Let me put up that address right now where you can get the book. People, treat yourself. That's all I need to say. Treat yourself to something good. This is good reading. So far, like I said, I've read some of the poems in here. I am just overwhelmed. by the poetry that I've read, and you can be blessed right now because she is going to read a couple of excerpts from the book. And you know me, I'm going to talk. I'm gonna shut up right now and let her do her thing.
Okay, thank you so much, Ernest. Okay, it's funny how you'll hear people who like singers and writers, and but they'll say this is my favorite song, and then they may have created 100 songs. They're
Right.
like, this is my favorite song. They have a couple of that's their favorites. I have favorites.
Right.
Favorites in the book. So I'm going to start with one of my favorites is entitled Know Your Worth, Sis. Know your worth, sis. You are to be treasured just the way you are, for a lifetime and not just a day. Your intellect, compassion, and nurturing nature are not to be just given away. Pray for instinct and revelation from the Almighty so there's no acceptance of mess. Be careful what you wish for. Be patient, or what you get may not be blessed. Know your worth, sis. What is of divine nature will be an asset of the greatest gift. You shall not be preyed on, but prayed for. May no foul hand be lifted. Opening up too soon to a new love can result in a lack of safety. Keep part of your heart reserved until only time and God reveal the bounty. Know your worth, sis. Being open to hearing your goals and dreams is a part of loving you. Grow together to build a solid foundation that no one can sink or undo. Building you up and not tearing you down should always be a mandate. Remember, it takes two. So your part in this is to show you're willing to reciprocate. And that's the end of that piece.
That's what's up. Can we get one more?
Oh, sure. Okay. I know where I want to go, but let me see. The spirit has moved me to do a little bit something a little different. Okay. I'm going to go with She Rose. And that's SHE-ROES. She Rose. Angela Davis, Bessie Coleman, Coretta Scott King, Ida B. Wells, Mary McLeod Bethune, Maya Angelou, Dr. Mae Jemison, Marian Anderson, Mary Mahoney, Rosa Parks, Harriet Tubman, and many, many more. Ode to the Black woman that proved to the world that a cape comes in many forms. These sheroes of history changed the lives of others, bending and breaking the chains of hope, proving with sweat, blood, and tears, raising signs, screaming for rights they should not have had to fight for. In protest, marching with their male counterparts, creating platforms to be heard, speaking powerful truths, building a life to raise conscious youths. They changed history to her story, then our story. She Rose.
That's what's up. Love it. Absolutely love it.
Thank you.
Wow. Do the snaps. That's what's up. Love it.
Yeah, that's what we do at Open Mic.
So, question for you: what was the process like putting your work into booklet form? Take us through that process.
Sure. First off, there's you really have to tap into your resources.
Right.
You have to network with people, because there's always going to be people who know things that you just do not know.
Right.
And so you have to rely on that help, and that's what I had to do, because I did not know, I'm just like, okay, I've got these poems and just sitting on my computer. What do I do? I don't know what to do.
Right.
But and another thing, I didn't know if I wanted to go self-publish.
Mhm.
I didn't know how I should promote it, if I wanted to, where I wanted to be able to be bought. I had no idea. So I said, well, um, one of the only things that makes sense is to talk to a couple of authors.
Right.
So that's what I did. I had one person that helped me pretty much start to finish, who's an author himself. And so when I let him know, I said, I want to go ahead and compile these. And I was doing a little bit of research myself, because I said, well, how many do I write? I don't, well, I mean, they were written, but I was like, well, how many make up a book? Like,
Right.
what I mean? We complete scratch here,
Right.
And the funny thing is, one thing that I did was I went back and I read some Maya Angelou, and I went back and I thought about people that my mother used to want me to read. And when she wanted me to read, from these authors at the time, I was like, I'm not interested in this, what I mean? But later, later I did. Later I did. So people like Richard Wright, just a lot. So anyhow, I went, and I have a couple of my Angelou books at home, here's I read a couple, and I was like, okay, let me see how many she has in one book, she had in one book, and what, and all that. So, and then I ask questions, I like,
Mhm.
no question is a dumb question, you don't know what you don't know. So when I had this friend of mine, his name is Daryl, helping me out, then, he was able, because, again, if somebody is doing something that they've already done what you want to do, they're successful at it, well,
Mhm.
that's your resources. That's who you need to go to.
Right.
So the first thing that I did was, in Word format, I sent him everything. And also, I said, well, there's copywriting. Am I supposed to get an ISBN? An ISBN is that barcode looking
Mhm.
thing.
Mhm.
For those who may not know, but that's that barcode that that goes on the back of your book.
Right.
I didn't know any of this. One thing I did do, because I like to learn quite a bit, on my own, so that I'm not relying so much on, like, outsourcing, things. Like, it's
Right.
certain things I want to know myself. Like, for instance, I designed my cover, um, and I sent it. I sent it to Daryl, and he was like, "I like it," you know. But it didn't sound too. So he said, it's actually the script, like the
Right.
writing, the I Am Woman, and it was just the way I had it written. It's like,
Right.
you might have to play with it a bit. Like, no problem. And that's the thing. You have to be, when you have these projects or these goals, these things you want to do, you also have to be open. You have to flow with it. And you can't be one thing that just completely turns me off is somebody that's a know it all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we're always learning.
Right.
And the minute you think you know so much, the minute you think you know it all, is the moment that you stop growing.
Right.
So
Right.
but anyhow, with the process, so that's what we did. I mean, I sent him everything in Word form. I sent him the graphic, the front cover that I came up with, and then I thought about the back cover. I literally, even the bio, I literally, I mean, you know, I know what I've accomplished or what have you, but I literally, let's say Google is your friend. I
Right.
literally
Right.
Googled formats for a bio. And then once I read a couple, I was like, oh, okay, you know, I got this. You know, I put it together really quick. I literally looked up a couple of dedications. You know, like I was real like piece together. So, but what he did from there is once I sent him everything, then he compiled it. So it would be, he said, well, you know, it can be this size, and from here, you know, it goes to the printing company. So what I did was I had to have conversations with him about the again the copywriting,
Hmm.
you know, what that process is like. So I mean,
Hmm.
I knew that that was a government, you know, thing. You go on, so I kind of knew to go on the copyright dot, you know, .gov, and I had actually another woman who she's written and you know, very accomplished woman, but she walked me through the website, the
Mm.
copyright.gov website, and she you know, I sent her, you know, my you know, my like just in word format. I sent that to her, sent her all of the poems and everything, and she, you know, she looked it over, she edited it for me, and you know, and all of that. So it was from in that process, it was just like all starting to come together,
Okay.
and I didn't know, like, should I go the route of Amazon, or should I go, you know, like, I don't know, you know, sites I should sell it on and different things like that. So that's just, you know, if you are an inspiring author, those are some things that you want to think about,
Right.
you know, and then find, you know, a person or people, you know, that are already doing it, and you know,
Hmm.
brain, pick their brain. And Daryl that helped me out, we've actually been friends for literally, oh, oh we're talking about since high school. So
Right.
many years. I don't say exactly how many, but I'm getting up there. But a lot of years.
Okay.
So, you know, so he's a sweetheart. He was so willing to help me, and he walked me handheld. I mean, just, you know, through the entire process, and it was surprisingly not as detailed or not as hard as I would have thought.
Right.
There's certain, you know, there's definitely steps, you know, A, B, C, D. You don't jump over A and go to C. You got to do
Right.
B, you know, but that you take. But it's it if anybody watching this is an inspiring author, just get it done.
Right.
You
Right.
know, just get it done, and it will make you feel, oh, so good.
Right.
It will make you feel good. I tell you, I when I went the route of print on demand. By the way, I decided I wasn't going to, not for my first book. I decided I wasn't going to do Amazon or you know, but I went the route of a print on demand company. So you know,
Okay.
you send them everything, and they literally, you know, compile it into that paper format for you, and they send it to you. You know, and when you know, you order the amount of copies that you want, and then when they sent me the copies, and they you know, I remember coming home and I see this box, and I'm like, that's it. Those are my books,
Mm.
you know, and I was just like, like, oh, you know, so, you know, went to open them, and I celebrated. You know, I went to a restaurant and everything, and I'm just, I mean, and I actually carried the box with me to the restaurant. I opened them at the restaurant, and I'm just, I know, like holding it, I just sat there,
Mhm.
like, wow, wow, and it was something to just really feel good about.
Right.
And it was an accomplishment, and the first thing in my mind was just, thank you, Lord, and thank you for sending, people to me. I have such a network now. Okay. When I tell you, from people that I met during the open mic, unfortunately that was shut down because of COVID, to people I have networked with on Facebook and Instagram. Now I know so many people now that are just doing it.
Right.
So again, anybody who aspires out there to be an author, or I mean any business, anything that feel would fulfill you and bless others, just as there you go, step out
Right.
on faith, just do it, because it's going to come together.
Right.
It's going to come together.
And I think you just went into my next segment.
Oh.
Word of, word of advice. What can you tell others out there who, having trouble stepping out on faith? What can you tell them right now to do to help them take that step forward into reality?
I would say you have to just realize that any of us out here, we are all good at something. We're all good at several things,
Right.
at many things. The thing is for you to just really dig deep and feel like, you know what? I don't have all of the answers. Just have all the questions
Right.
and just do it. Just, I mean, not to sound cliche-ish, but you just have to take that first step. Once you take that first step, if you've been praying, push, praying until something happens, and you ask God to order your steps. And see, when we do it, we mess up. We mess up all the time. So, if you got to be willing to take that first step without knowing, have faith without knowing where the second step is, when the second step is going to come. What am I supposed to do on the next step? What am I supposed to do on the third? What am I supposed to, you're not going to see the whole staircase, so to speak. You go out, you take that first step, and then from there, you keep praying, and you will start to hear. Ask the Lord to talk to you. Make
Right.
sure I hear you. So that way I know where you want me to go next. Your steps have to be ordered, because if they're not, you're going to step left when you should be stepping right.
Right. Right.
So I would say that's the main thing, is to really have faith. And then after that, you put in that work.
Right.
You put in that work.
Right.
There's that I think sometimes there are too many people who will they pray and they pray and they pray, and God show me a sign and this that, but you know what, they're not stepping, they're not, and sitting back like it's gonna, answers will come to you, but you have to, I mean, when we know that it says that in the Bible, faith without works is dead. So I
Right.
mean, you gotta be that hustler.
Right.
You gotta say, you know what, I'm not maybe I'm not gonna go, hang out, with my friends today, or maybe I'm not going to do this today. I'm going to sit down and I'm going to write step by step what it is, I should be doing and what's going to get me to my goal before
Right.
you pray on it, you know. But you start to minimize the things that keep you non-productive.
Right.
Those things will always keep you, will always have you feeling like an empty vessel.
Right.
So you have to continue to ask the Lord to pour into you.
Right.
And then from there, but you take that first, you got to take that first step.
Yeah.
Now, from that point on, you ask the Lord to order your steps, then you know what? It's going to happen. And it may not happen in your time frame, because our time frame, his time frame is two different things.
Totally different.
It's going to happen.
Totally different. How can people find you on social media?
Okay. The I would say probably the easiest is really by my first and last name on Facebook, Tyese, Tyese Woodson. And I'm also on Instagram. I'm on Instagram as Emerald Life by Design, because that's actually the name of my life coaching company, Emerald Life by Design. And what that means is that with the help of God, with his guidance, we can design our own lives.
Mm.
We're responsible for our choices. We're responsible for the triumphs. We're responsible for the falling down.
Yes.
We're responsible for all of that. But that's what it's about.
That's what's up. That's what's up. I want to say again, thank you for coming on the show. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on the show. And people, right now, I need you to go get this book, this collection of poems, I Am Woman, a collection of poems written by Tyese Woodson, author, life coach, entrepreneur. What can I say? Incredible, incredible. Make sure you go purchase the book. If you purchase the book for someone else, make sure you get the book. The key word right now is support. We all need that support right now in these, especially in these times right now. So the website is up where you could get the book at. And we want to spread this support. Make sure you get this book. It is incredible. I still have some reading to do. I was in the midst of reading it today. And what I read, it was just phenomenal. So make sure you get your copy of I Am Woman, a collection of poems by Tyese Woodson. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
It's been a pleasure. Don't go nowhere, people. We have just one more thing that we need to talk about in relation to today's topic, which is stepping out on faith. And it comes from Mr. Steve Harvey. A while ago, like I said, when I was putting the show together and stepping out on faith, he had made a motivational speech on the show. I forgot the name of the show, what he does, the game show, and Family Feud. And he made a speech, and he called that speech Jump. And it's only right that I play this video because it's fitting to the topic for today, which is stepping out on faith. I want you guys to watch this video. I want to certainly thank everyone who has tuned in, who has watched this video, will watch this live. And I just pray that you get something out of it. And I thank you all for tuning in every Sunday. Make sure you check us out every Sunday right here on Charm City Direct TV, 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. Go to Facebook at facebook.com/Charm City Direct TV. Make sure you head on over to YouTube to watch this live right now at Charm City Direct TV. You can watch it on Twitch at Charm City Direct TV and MMBPRadio.com. Go there. Watch us. Again, special shout out to our special guest today, Miss Thais Woodson. Phenomenal. I'm gonna just leave it at that. Phenomenal. Hey, you all have been great. Hey, and I'll see you next Sunday right here on Sunday Morning Live. Peace.
Person in this world has jumped. I'm going to tell you what I mean by that. You are going to have to jump. You cannot just exist in this life. You have got to try to live. If you are waking up thinking that it's got to be more to your life than it is, man, believe that it is. But to get to that life, you're gonna have to jump. Now, I'll tell you why I call it jumping. See, God, when he created all of us, he gave every last one of us a gift at birth. He never created a soul without endowing them with a gift. You just gotta quit looking at gifts as running, jumping, sing, and dance. It's more than that. It's if you know how to network, if you can connect dots, if you draw, if you teach. Some of y'all fry chicken better than anybody else, bake pie. Some of you cut hair, color hair. Some people do grass. I got a partner, man, never wanted to go out with us because we stayed out too late. Come on, man, go out with now. I got to get up early, mom, cutting Miss Johnson grass. We kept laughing at this dude, cutting grass. How much they pay you? He got a landscaping company in Cleveland worth $4 million. Because all he do is cut grass. But he was gifted at it. I got a partner on a detail shop, make $800,000 a year detailing cars. He got 6 mobile trucks running around. $800,000 a year. All he do is detail cars. That's his gift. That's what he loved to do. You've got to identify that gift. Now listen to me. When you see people in life, when you're standing on the cliff of life and you see people soaring by, you hear about them doing wonderful things. Maybe you look up the street and your neighbor just gets a car every year, every 2 years. You know, how is he doing that? Have you ever thought, maybe this person right here has identified their gift and is living in their gift? Because your Bible says, your Bible says your gift will make room for you. Your gift, not your education. You go get an education, that's nice. But if you don't use your gift, that education only gonna take you so far. I know a lot of people got degrees, man, they ain't even using it. It's your gift. But the only way for you to soar is you got to jump. You got to take that gift that's packed away on your back. You got to jump off that cliff and pull that cord. That gift opens up and provides the soar. If you don't ever use it, you're gonna just go to work. And if you're getting up going to work on a job every day that you hate going to, that ain't living, man. You just existed. At one point in time, you ought to see what living's like. But the only way to see what living like, you gotta jump. And here's the problem. I'm gonna just be real with you. When you first jump, let me tell you something. Your parachute will not open right away. You're gonna hit them rocks. You're gonna get some skin tore off on them cliffs. You're gonna get all your clothes tore off. You're gonna get some cuts on you. You're gonna be bleeding pretty bad. But eventually, the parachute has to open. That is a promise of God. That ain't a theory, that's a promise. His promises is true, because listen to me. You cannot name one single thing God has not gotten you through. Name it. And if he ain't got you through it, he currently pulling you through it right now. And the living proof of it is you sitting in here. If he hadn't got you through it, you wouldn't even be here. So if he ain't never not got you through it, why would he not let your parachute open? It has to open, man. You can play it safe and deal without the cuts and the tears. And you can stand on that cliff of life forever safe. But if you don't jump, I got another promise I can make you. Your parachute will never open. You'll never know. You'll never know what God really has for you. See, your God has a wonderful life for you. Once again, I'm gonna refer to your Bible. Now, you go down there, you memorize these scriptures, you don't apply them to yourself. Your Bible says that he comes to give you life and give you life more abundantly. If I were you, I would jump. Because that's the only way to get to that abundant life. You got to jump, man. You got to take a chance. Now, when I get through talking, there are those of you who discuss this in the car. Well, I got bills, and I got bills. Whether you stay on the cliff or you jump, you're gonna have bills. Well, if I quit my job, I'm gonna ruin my credit. If you got a job, you living check to check. Even if you got A1 credit, you can't buy nothing else no damn way. At one point in time, man, do yourself a favor. Go see what God really do. God hold you up, man. He ain't gonna let you fall. He ain't bring you this far to let you fall. Do yourself a favor, man. Before you leave this world, before you die, jump. Just jump one time. Just jump. Thank you very much.
Thank you for watching another great live broadcast on Charm City Direct TV. Make sure you head on over to YouTube, Facebook Live, and Twitter for more great content on Charm City Direct TV. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, follow everything Charm City Direct TV.